Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another cast of the Winter Cup 2025. We are in the round of the last eight, and I'm not alone. As always, I have two wonderful casters with me. On the one hand, we have Blood Red Yeti. Hello.
Everybody.
And on the other hand, we have the Goblin himself, Gagi.
I am also here.
Yeah, those are the terrifying creatures, terrible creatures, whatever I told, or I just named you. But yeah, we are here for the game BananaBread versus AstatineEffect. What are your thoughts about those guys?
Man, I've always been a big fan of BB being an underdog for many a time. And Asstatine, I also have been a fan of being an underdog. So this is two people who I've been rooting for a while. So I'm very happy to cast this.
I've played both of them. I think I've played Asatine a little bit more. I think both of them are fantastic as well. I think it's going to be a really interesting matchup. I don't think I've actually seen them play each other recently, so I'm really interested to see how it shakes out.
Yeah.
Okay, then let's go through the standings at the moment. You can do it.
Wow, it looks like that we're facing BananaBread and AstatineEffect. That's crazy. It's almost like that's the match we're casting. And whoever wins that is going to go against Hoffnung for, it looks like the finals. So that's, I think both of them can beat Hoffnung. So it's basically a nice path to finals for whoever wins.
It's the finals for the left side, so the semi-final for the whole tournament. But yeah,
Yeah. I meant whoever beats Hoffnung is in the finals.
for the information for everybody, the game Hoffnung versus Jay Scarni will not get casted because they not finished the game. They have to forfeit it, or Scarni has to forfeit it, or had to forfeit it in the middle of the game. So yeah, Hoffnung was in the lead and just get the forfeit win, and so he will stand in the semifinals and hopefully will play the final or the game for the third place later as well. But yeah, we try to cast every game that's coming up in the future. Yeah. So, do you think it was, what is it, likely to be the match for the last round of last eight, Aston vs Banana Bread?
Sorry, what was the question?
Do you think it was likely that Aston and Banana Bread will go through the first round?
Yeah, I mean, Astatine versus Roxo, as much as I love Roxo, I think Astatine was winning that 99 times out of 100. Banana Bread versus Verdress was probably one of the closest matches, and I mean, I was rooting for Banana Bread because, Banana Bread's great, but I mean, that could have gone either way.
That was my thought as well. I really could have seen either Verdress or Banana Bread coming out on top. They're both really solid, uh, both very uh, good for the level they're at.
Yeah, and it was a pretty cool match, but with a Banana Bread who strikes, I think, 9 to 2. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, maybe he can do it one more time and beat Aceton. We will see. Let's go for the pick and ban, if you don't mind. So you can start with our pick and ban draft. I hope everybody knows how the pick and ban or the draft will work. But yeah, just go through it.
So it looks like Banana Bread won the coin flip uh, and decided to pick or ban first, when then Asatine decided to spy. Banana Bread then banned out redwoods, which is a little unfortunate. Everybody loves to watch the trees, though not many people like to play within them.
Yep. Astatine follows that up with probably my favorite ban of all time of banning balcony, because who likes balcony in serious matches? And then doubles another one I'm a big fan of is gallery. which I think is one of my favorite venues, both to cast and to play. So I'm very happy to see that.
It looks like Banana Bread then responds by doubling Veranda. So we're going to get a couple of bigger venues, which will be a little interesting. Those 5 of 8s are always a little bit more challenging to put together a game plan on. And then picks a single of Modern. Looks like we're liking those wide open spaces. I wonder if we have some kind of game plan that doesn't involve bug.
Yeah, and then going from wide open spaces to probably one of the most crowded venues in Ballroom, which is just full of people all the time. And then bans High Rise, which I mean, I guess both players just don't want to be playing any 3 of X's, it looks like. So, and I can't blame them.
I would agree with that sentiment as Banana Bread is banning out Terrace and then singling Library, and I would say I fully agree. Those 3 of 5s and 3 of 7s definitely tend to be more Civ shot heavy, and in something like this where you're trying to get to the semifinals, you probably want that little bit of extra time just to be a little bit more sure of your shot.
Hmm. And then Astatine singles Aquarium, which I simply cannot agree with at all because, you know, who likes Aquarium? That's truly a terrible venue that I think everyone agrees is terrible, and I'm not biased. Um, but I think you can still do some fun plays on it, and I'm not super against it. And then bans Courtyard 3 of 7, which I think again it just shows that neither player really wants to be playing any 3 of X's here, um, which you know can't blame him.
Not at all, especially someplace like Courtyard where you can just finish up on one statue visit. And then Banana Bread will finish by banning out Hub. Which, again, another one of those 3 of X venues. I just don't want to be seeing those. And then it looks like our decider for if we go to overtime would be Infinite Tayan.
Would you agree with those players if you have Courtyard, Pub, and Tayan as the last venues that you want to go for the Infinite Tayan?
It's certainly one of the more fun infinites. I personally would probably do Courtyard because it's 3 of 7, and that's I think more of a fun like we'll end on this. But I think all of those are like ideal final ones.
I would agree. I think Tan is probably the one that's the most confusing to my brain, but that's just because I feel like it's hard to see things a lot on Tan, and for something that's going to be an overtime decider, you might want something that's a little bit more visible.
Okay, so we are ready to go in game and start with the first gallery game.
Oh boy.
Okay, good luck, have fun.
Are you gonna
So,
count down or me?
You can do it.
Oh boy, I never get to do it. We'll start with hair on gallery in 3, 2, 1, playing it. What's your thought on gallery? Because I don't actually know.
I honestly like. I want to like gallery, but I'm so bad at it. It's so much information for me personally to process that I tend to just lose track of everything. I think it's a very well made venue. I really like the way that the pads work on the sides. I think it has a lot of really interesting play potential. I just personally don't know how to unlock that. Looks like we start off with a 3-person window pad, our painting pad visit for a 51% flirt, and then we grab the briefcase for a fingerprint and take that on outside to the ambassador.
Yeah, we definitely stayed on that pad longer than we should have because we were going for that print, and you know what? I think that's a pretty good move. Starting off with something slow like Prince is usually a good way to end a finish, especially on something like Gallery where it can be very hard to get missions at the last second.
It really is one of those deceptively long venues.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember, but I think I tried to figure out how long it takes for like Pearl and Sari to go from one side to the other, and I think it's like 25 seconds. It is. I don't think it's longer than like Veranda, but it's certainly deceptively long. I think like if you're not accustomed to gallery, like you will have time trouble.
Looks like we tried to go finish up our flirt, and our seduction target, small man, bailed on us. But looks like we might be able to get it done here. We can get another green test.
Yeah, I mean, going for that flirt was sort of another way
Banana
of
bread.
people needing to know how long gallery is, because we were never going to reach that. But we do get a nice banana bread and split directly out of it. I don't think we're getting rewarded for it, but it certainly was a nice thing. And now we're going to a printable statue and swapping, and that's time.
And we
We're
just get a highlight for it. I believe that'll be a win for Asstatine.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see any shot coming. Yep, that's a win. Very nice. That was very not like a full-on rush, but very nice, like semi-little rush. Prince and Swap is not two missions
Banana
that
bread.
you see a lot on 4 of 8s, but it can work, I guess. So
I think it also happened pretty quickly, and when things happen that quickly, especially on a venue like Gallery, it can be a little. You're not looking for swap at that point in time.
yeah, I mean, yeah, when you're doing a rush like that, Swap is definitely that's where Swap shines. But yeah, that's 1-0 Asstatine, and we're gonna see if Banana Bread can take back that spy win with Disney in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Yeah, going directly to books here just to get a nice flirt.
Is this custom?
I mean, yeah. I don't think we're going to be doing anything funky with the book just because of where we are, because you usually want to be on the other side of the bookcase if you're doing anything funky. But yeah, we're going to put it back. Disney is often regarded as not the best spy, but Disney is one of the faster spies, which will help on a big map like Gallery, and also help with getting briefcases, as we are also starting with a print.
I believe honestly that he gets a little bit of a bad rap just because of the size of his hands and he can't bug quite as easily, but I do think he's a fairly solid choice otherwise.
I definitely think he's underrated, but I think he still ends up in the bottom half of spies. He does end up being sneakily good on balcony just because he has the shortest average talk time. Um, so if you're not going for bugs, you can usually get some talks in there, and it's not like the most game-changing thing, but it can help once in a while.
Cross conversation flirt takes us up to 76%. So if we get close enough, we can finish this up with just one more.
And we do. Yeah, I mean, we're taking our time here. We don't need to rush, do prints and swap, because no one does prints and swap. Um, but you do have to wonder what is the plan. We might go for that printable statue that Ambassador's at right now, and it looks like that's the plan because we're getting inspects right now.
What are your thoughts on statue to statue visits?
I don't necessarily mind them. I feel like I usually don't like to do them as a spy, but as a sniper, I usually, unless it's like the last 30 seconds, I usually don't attribute it to the spy because it's just flashing warning signs. And no spy wants to do that. Although our print is getting smudged, so by us not doing statue to statue, that is going to be kind of rough if we don't hit this green. But it could
We
also
could
help.
also just try to go to books.
That's true too. We have a minute
But I
and a half to
think
decide, so
Banana bread.
That's another banana bread, I believe. Did we already have a banana bread? I might be misremembering.
We did not. That was
We did
our
not.
that was our contact. We looks like we get a fair amount of low lights, and it looked like a safety off onto salmon briefly.
Yeah. And we're gonna take a drink, which is not printable, which could hinder us getting any prints in the near future. So we're probably gonna have to get rid of that very quickly.
Especially with such a little amount of time left on the game.
Yeah, now we're getting into the point where we might be in a little bit of trouble. I think we're gonna have to go like directly now if we want to finish this up. And we are gulping, sorry, our drink. So I think Banana Bread realizes that that is the play. Or not, is just gonna stay around. I guess is gonna do. Yeah, I guess now we're going for. No, are we gonna inspect swap last second?
I think that is going to be what we have to do here. We start with the swap. It's a white swap. We hold it up like Lion King it, and the sniper shoots teal.
Was Teal just there, I assume? Yeah, Teal was just there. I mean, that's a pretty good frame. I don't know if Teal did anything else, but
She
I
was
mean,
at books with us at the beginning, so she would have completed flirt if Asstatine was on top of that.
she wasn't finishing inspects, so I guess probably a bug somewhere because it's gallery. But yeah, no, we've got a civ shot, and that is we're all tied up.
Very
Hooray!
nice. Yeah, very nice job of Banana Bread to understand where Asstatine was looking and who they could set up for a frame.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And as we move on to the next thing, a gallery, as we're just, I mean, directly in the line of Toby, so we might see a Purloin right away. That's what I'm hoping for. As Bling Twin, in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
I wish you could Purloin on the go.
I'm trying to think how, like, as you pass Toby, like you just swipe.
Yeah, just like walk past and take the guest list off the tray, like but
Like
make it
doing
like
a
a
sort of bug animation. I would
yeah,
like
but like you could make it like a difficult fingerprint, and then if you screw it up, you get the crash sound effect.
that. Sounds great. I want that. Now we'll get 3 Purloins total. Anyway, we have 51% of the flirt because I mean obviously we got to flirt right away because I mean that's just basically every spy game is starting with a flirt.
It's really hard not to get that mission progress with very little suspicion on you.
Mm-hmm. I'm surprised flirt watching isn't more popular nowadays with how much like just about every spy in every game will just immediately start next to the seduction target. Like I look at it every once in a while, but like it's, I mean, you can probably track it pretty easily these days. But we get a quick 2 greens, and with less than a minute off the clock, we're done with flirt, which is really nice.
I think that's probably one of the reasons we don't see more of it is that the higher levels you just two flirt, and it's very hard to go. Well, these people were next to each other twice.
That's probably true. I mean, you're still not going to be 2 flirting all the time, and even if you're 2 flirting, it does mean you're directly next to them twice. So I think if you're really looking, you can probably figure it out. I don't know. I don't watch flirts all the time, so I wouldn't know.
BananaBread.
But we're gonna fake BB with the real double agent outside and the SDA not in convo. So if Banana Bread notices that, that's gonna look really suspicious for the back convo. But yeah, really nice fake BB. Does eliminate a few people, but not too many.
Just some really aggressive idling in this conversation circle. And it looks like we were trying to maybe bug and go to books, but we get bounced out.
Yeah, Tex really just immediately was like, nah, not happening. And you know what? I think that would have been an amazing bug if it wasn't stopped. I'm surprised it didn't look that bad given exactly what happened. But that was crazy attempt that was just failed. We might bug on the way out of books here, just because ambassadors like, oh, sorry, man, you can bug me on the way out this time, and we do.
It's a wrong arm bug, and that honestly, that was fantastic.
Oh, fantastic. I don't think we're going to get any suspicion on this. I mean, we don't have a highlight. There didn't seem to be any visible reaction from the sniper, so I think that's clean.
We go outside with this book, likely to contact, and I would imagine we're washing this book, and this book will probably be going back into blue, but I could be wrong.
I don't necessarily think so, just because we were next to the ambassador when we started bookshelves, so we probably had our eye on which bookshelf this came from, especially considering this is so late and we can't hold it for more than a minute. But I could be wrong, and we could be returning it now. We are. Blink Twin does also blend in just a little bit with the bookshelf, which could help hide the fact that this is happening. But I don't see any visible reaction from BananaBread as Mission Win Countdown is happening. And yeah, I mean, I guess that looks like game. Very nice spy win. I want to look at this failed bug again, because I'm pretty sure this would have been an amazing bug if Tex had not, like... no, I guess we kind of messed up the timing. I mean, Astatine messed it up. But it still would have been a really nice little bug. It's a fun attempt. I like it.
So do I. I think it was a really clever attempt, even if it wasn't executed exactly perfectly. They more than make up for it, in my opinion, with that wrong arm bug.
Oh, 100%. That wrong arm bug. I mean, the wrong arm bug is sort of visible if you have the right angle, but, like, you're not going to look for that. It's very nice. Yeah. And with that, we're moving on to the last game of Gallery as, you know, Blink Twin. Because we have to have a twin pair of games with Blink Twins. I'm hilarious. This is top-notch casting from me. And we'll start in 3, 2, 1, playing it. What are your thoughts on the Twins? Because I honestly think they're overrated, spy-wise.
I like them. I think that there's really some fun gameplay that can be done with them, but I don't necessarily know that they're the greatest. They're a little bit on the slow side. Their bug is a little bit noticeable compared to some of the other people. They're like their main draw is really the fact that there's two of them.
Yeah, I think that does tend to be a draw, but I don't think a lot of snipers do it anymore, but a lot of snipers will just highlight one at the beginning, which of course is not great if you're one of them, because then you have a good chance of getting attention on you just because you're a twin. And then also, their bug's just not that great. I think they're one of the most overrated spies, but I mean, you still gotta play them every once in a while. But we are gonna fail a flirt, and that's just how Gallery works.
So that's all right though. We still have some time to get this flirt done. We don't necessarily need to abandon it as a mission just yet, but we might want to start spreading out progress in other places just in case it goes that way, especially with our first flirt being a white cross conversation.
Yeah, I mean, this is Gallery. Time's gonna creep up on you. Twin's certainly not the slowest spy, but certainly isn't the fastest. So we should probably be doing something more than just standing here and cross convo flirting. But we might get a wrong umbrella on the way through, and it fails. But it would have been beautiful if it worked.
It would have indeed, but the ambassador just didn't want to walk quite close enough. We decided to take an innocent drink and go pick up another flirt, but General bails. Doesn't want to have anything to do with us.
Yeah, now we're getting to the point where time is definitely an issue because we're halfway through and we only have 19% flirt. It looks like we're gonna get a printable briefcase here, which I don't hate. But Prince might also be a mission that's gonna take too long given our time restraint. So we might want to need to do a time ad or something if we're gonna plan on doing Prince.
I think a time ad would be an incredibly helpful thing to do, but if we're gonna do it, we kind of have to do it right now.
But then again, there's also the drink in hand, which of course you can't. Well, I mean, you technically can, but it's going to be very suspicious for some snipers if you take a drink outside on gallery. Um,
Instead, we're just gonna go finish up flirt. I don't necessarily, or try to. We get to 69% and get contact off. I don't necessarily know that that was the correct call, but I'm also bad at this game.
I think it was fine. I mean, at this point, we're sort of locked into. If we're gonna finish fingerprints, we need to like find a really good bug or purloin almost immediately, and I don't know if there's any prints anywhere. Uh, and we're also gonna have to finish flirt. So yeah, I think we're gonna need to do a time ad soon if we're not gonna do like a rush immediately.
Head
There's no
outside
spot in
with the
this.
drink, and we miss the circle. That is truly unfortunate.
We
And
finagle
then
our way in there, which I don't think the sniper's seen, but it was incredibly funny.
that was great to watch, and it just goes to show you that that conversation circle at the front of gallery is the least watched conversation circle in all of SpyParty.
Picking him a statue. I hope it's fingerprintable. It is. We are gonna have to fingerprint swap. As I said, is a very rare mission combination earlier, and we are gonna get shot. Even though I don't think Asstatine has seen the statue, which good shot.
Is that our first sniper win of the set?
That is the first sniper win of the set, and that's. I mean, I think this was a very. I mean, if you're fingerprinting and swapping, you can't be doing that in the last 20 seconds because, I mean, you can certainly swap in the last 20 seconds and it can work sometimes, but that's like last resort sort of thing. And I know General was certainly getting away from us, but I think we could have been a little bit more proactive there. Time got away from BananaBread. But
I think we probably should have focused on other mission progress and picked up the flirt in between rather than focusing so hard on getting that flirt finish.
mm-hmm. But yeah, that's gallery for you. Sometimes you just aren't gonna get good luck on the flirts. As we move away from gallery, very unfortunate, but fortunately we are sticking on good venues because we're going to veranda, which is, as we all know, a great venue. Starting with Irish as the spy in 3, 2, 1, playing it. What's your thought on veranda?
It's big. I hated it when I first started playing. It has definitely grown on me, kind of like a fungus or a mold over time. I think that the fifth mission is a bit overwhelming when you first start doing it, but I think that as you get better at sniping, the fifth mission is kind of a very wonderful thing to have because it forces the spy into a hardtail. So I think it's both a lot more fun as the sniper because you can kind of count on one of those hardtails being done, and as the spy because you have to find a creative path to victory because you're going to have to do a hardtail. So I think it really just drives some very innovative tech and spy and sniper play on both sides of the menu.
Fully agree, especially on the statement of veranda being a mold. I certainly like that image. But yeah, we're gonna. I mean, a lot has happened since you started talking. We requested a drink immediately, fake BB'd, which I assume was unintentional, and then purloined, which doesn't seem to have eliminated a lot of suspects. We've just green time added. We've got a real BB. We've got 79% of the flirt. We're in a solid spot for having 4 minutes left on the spy clock.
We really are. So, do you think that because it does look like it was a green time ad, do you think now we really slow it down, or do you think we just rush it out like we didn't even time ad at all?
I think I mean, it's really arguments for a lot of things. Honestly, I mean, we're not going to slow it down at all and we're going to get a bug. But I was about to say, we could honestly just do nothing and wait for a shot to happen, which doesn't happen a lot on Veranda, but with that much chaos in the first few seconds, I doubt that any sniper would be able to hold their shot. But I mean, it looks like we're just going to need to do inspects or fingerprints or something because we just got what looks like a clean bug. But we're going to get a bookcase, so maybe it's microfilm.
Not a bad option. I think I personally would prefer prints, especially with this much time left.
Yeah, Prince has definitely worked out for Astatine so far. Honestly, I would probably swap.
Though perhaps we're just going to hold on to the book for like 2 full minutes and dump it into another bookcase.
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, really, I don't think there's terrible options here. Like, microfilm's probably one I wouldn't go for a lot, but I think, especially after a time ad and after all that, I don't think Banana Bread's going to be looking for a swap with 4 minutes left on the clock. So I think that would have been a good play too, but I think this might work as long as we're holding it for at least a minute.
No, I definitely think a swap would have worked quite well. But also, I think I can understand not wanting to, do so much in so little time and have such a honestly spectacular spy game and then lose just because you decided to swap when you could have just been a little more patient, and hung out with a book for forever and then just put it back into a different bookcase because who can keep track of where that book came from for 2.5 minutes?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I definitely agreed. Certainly I think that's one of the big reasons why oh, we're just going to get a civ shot. Um but I'll finish my statement of I think that's one of the big reasons why I don't think a lot of people go for swap so often is because it just doesn't work a lot of the time, and it's just because people are set off by that. But we're gonna get a civ shot. Like I said, we probably could have waited, and someone would have died to a civ shot after all that chaos in the first few minutes. I don't know what Twin did. Probably inspects. Looks like
Yeah, probably. He had inspects, or he had at least one inspect. Went back to the same set of statues again. Took a
yeah,
drink.
maybe
Had a briefcase. He was actually being pretty active.
yeah he
He
returned a
picked up
briefcase.
and then he returned a briefcase. The ambassador left, and he immediately picked the briefcase up.
Yeah, that screams spy to me. I think that's a fine shot.
Somebody should
All
tell him
things
you can't be
considered.
doing that.
Yeah, no, you don't. Just at that point, just take the briefcase home with you. If the pastor keeps leaving it right in front of you, just take it home. It's a gift. Regardless, after that, frankly, reasonable shot. We do have to move on to the next game with Alice, or Ponytail, or many other names for this lady. In 3, 2, 1, playing it. I mean, I think Alice is one of the top spies at this point, so I can certainly see picking her while you're behind like this. We're
She
just
is
gonna.
really good, really quick, and honestly blends in really well.
She's also like has one of the better bugs. Is very skinny and can hide behind things. Like I assume we were trying to do with that time ad, which it doesn't look like it was noticed, so it sort of worked. And we're just gonna get a print and probably get flirt done. Yep, we're just going directly chasing boots. I assume we're going for a flirt. all these games have had prints in them, so I think there's a theme forming. That's not usually the mission you associate with having a lot done, but I mean, certainly there's worse. We're gonna red swap.
What? What? How? We did not die. That is impressive.
So I assume the plan was to swap and then leave because it was a big pickup. But Banana Bread, obviously seeing Astatine move over, aborted the plan, which I think is the correct move. But it looks like we're down to 2 suspects, and that's not something you want on Veranda.
Not at all. Yeah. Now it's just a matter of if Banana Bread can correctly identify who they have to frame.
Yeah. It's certainly not something I think is like 99 times out of 100. I don't think this game's going to end up in the spy's favor, but I've seen crazier things happen. So we might be able to pull something out. I mean, if Banana Bread knows who to frame, I think now is a good time to fake BB, even though we have a well, now it's not anymore because General just left. But
The general will get shot.
the General will get shot. Okay. I mean, Veranda's not usually the place you see this many Civ shots. But, okay.
It's somewhat understandable. That is the second statue visit.
Yep. I assume
though,
crediting
I-
some sort of bug, yeah.
I personally feel like you could have waited for a contact, but perhaps he also had prints. I'm not sure.
Given the swap, I wouldn't be surprised if Astatine just attributed that as there was some mission they missed. And then during the swap, General was directly walking by the ambassador, so probably credited a bug during the swap, which is incredibly suspicious. I think both of these Civ shots have been perfectly reasonable, and I can see where they've come from. And unfortunately for both of them, they lost because of these perfectly reasonable shots, which is just how the game happens sometimes.
It's truly unfortunate to have happened to you, but it sure makes for a good game to watch.
Certainly a fun thing to watch directly like after I say this will almost certainly not happen. But yeah, that means we're 5 spy wins and 1 sniper win into the set, which is not something you see every day. But maybe we'll continue the trend of a bunch of spy wins with Duke on Veranda in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
The score is 4-2 in Astatine's favor for anyone who isn't paying attention, like I haven't been.
Yeah, I have the stream up, so I can see the score. But we're just gonna get a quick little flirt and leave. I love that. It's a great little move. It's never gonna be seen on a map like Veranda, and we're just gonna, I assume, go back and finish it up right now. But we're gonna hit a white, so it's gonna be only 85%, which is still fine. Now, Duke is also, I think, one of the more interesting spies. I know Rov loves Duke a lot, but I think Duke suffers a little bit from being tall, um, but not necessarily. I think Duke is a little underrated in Spyworth.
I like him a lot, though he does have some drawbacks. His talk animation is particularly visible, especially if he has a book. So it makes doing certain things like book swaps, if you're trying to wash a book, a little bit more difficult if you're going to talk. But at the same time, he does hold the book behind his back. So if you don't, you can kind of hide it a little bit more.
Yeah, by the rip here, I'm assuming the plan is to take advantage of that. I think you do have to be in very specific positions as Duke, and then even then, he has idle animations like he's doing around now, where he puts it in front of his body anyway. So it's I just don't think it's super useful to be doing stuff like that, but it can work sometimes. I've seen it happen. but we're gonna finish up flirt here, which good on AstatineEffect. And I assume we're just gonna hang out around this side of the venue, and get a briefcase. I don't know if this briefcase is legal, but I'm assuming so. But we're
Well,
gonna
we don't
finish
get shot for it, and that's really all that matters.
That is what matters at the end of the day. Correct. I assume we're gonna get a contact here and then put the book back somewhere. But what's the 5th mission is the question. That Blood Red Yeti's gonna answer right now.
My guess would be we're gonna go for a purloin.
Have we even seen a Purloin this entire set?
Yes, we did. We saw
BananaBread.
one in that incredibly quick set on Veranda at the beginning of our Veranda
Oh,
time,
yeah.
and that might be it. But there might have been one more on Gallery, but I'm not. I can't remember for sure.
No, it's been. Oh, well, you're gonna get a very nice bug there. But it's mostly been Prince and Swap for Veranda. We're gonna be at red with the blue book when we have 4 missions done, and it does not look like we're getting shot. It looks like we might be getting looked at, but that's not a shot, so we could see a win here for either side. This is very interesting.
And we enter mission win countdown, and I don't believe we're being looked at.
No, I don't think so. I think we were looking at Toby, who is in front of us. I think that is 6th spy win. Incredible. So we're 3 missions into Veranda, and we have 3 spy wins, which is not something that happens every day. Wild.
It really is. I was not expecting this.
And these aren't like bad players either. These 2 are very, very solid and have just been playing very solid Veranda games.
Yeah, and I've been watching on their sniper cams. They haven't. I don't think they've been doing really anything wrong. The spies have just been knowing exactly when and where to take advantage of sniper attention.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I think the last game you probably could have credited that bug, but even then, like, the prints were pretty well hidden. The microfilm
BananaBread.
was held for a long time,
BananaBread.
and your attention is going to be taken for a long time. Like, I mean, yeah, both players have been playing incredibly well, but even more incredibly on the spy side, which I love to see. And I'm hoping that we can get a spy sweep on Veranda, because I don't get to say that every day. But I am hoping to say that after this game, as Hare on Veranda, if Hoffnung's ready. Not Hoffnung, gentlemen. One of those. I was looking at chat. In 3, 2, 1, playing. Sorry, I looked over at chat and saw Hoffnung's name, and it entered my brain at the same time I was trying to see gentlemen.
Red dress and green books for a flirt, and possibly starting a microfilm.
It's early enough where I think you could probably... I mean, we're going to do an animation transfer, but I think you could probably get away with just ripping it immediately and going to red. But we're doing the safer move of doing an animation microfilm in the back, which I cannot argue with. It's a pretty good thing. And I assume we were trying to go for a flirt there, but we just could not get into the convo and just kept walking, which is unfortunate, but a good redirect from BananaBread.
And we pick up a bug.
Which looks amazing.
Yeah, and I'm so clean.
Why are the spies doing so well? And we get highlight? Amazing. This, first off, amazing bug, and amazing what I assume is a catch of said bug. Incredible. I have not seen gameplay this good in so long. What? This is why I don't play anymore, because you guys are pulling out stuff like this. but we're going to get a white flare for 58%.
So we will probably need to get at least one more green close. Otherwise, we might have to get 2 more flirts, which could be a death sentence at this point, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, highlight for that is going to be incredibly hard to get away with. I think I don't suspect BananaBread understands their highlight, because I certainly wouldn't think so. But I think if we do another animation microfilm, unless the ambassador's in danger like he currently is right now, we're definitely going to die. But we have like no cover for this. Yeah, we're just out in the open. I cannot imagine us surviving an animation. Well, now Disney's in the way, but we're gonna.
We decide to
Rock
go to
fight.
Windows with the book.
This is a nice spot if the ambassador goes to the other side, and then we're not going to be able to keep an eye out on hair. But also, half the party is now highlight for various things, which is something you don't see end of your day. We're microfilming, and we're not even on the screen, but we're
I
going to
just
see
caught at the
animation.
last moment.
Yeah. Yeah. That is unfortunate. I think if that's green, that's clean as day.
Absolutely.
And it's just that, end of the transfer animation. Very, very good game by BananaBread, and somehow an even better game by Astatine, as I unfortunately do not get to say Veranda has been a spy sweep as I wanted. Very unfortunate. But we're moving on to Modern, which is another one that's not really spy-sided, but given how this set is going, I hope it remains spy-sided.
I'm so interested to see.
I'm incredibly interested. I have not been this engaged in a match in a while, and I'm only kind of saying that to stir up drama as a caster. Uh, and we'll start with Tex in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Yeah, I mean Tex is another one that I think does not get a lot of credit as a spy, but unlike a lot of other ones, I think this one's earned. I don't think Tex is that good as a spy, as good looking as he is.
I think he's got speed going for him, but I think that that's a little bit of it. He's not quite as good at body blocking as like Taff, but you can do some with him.
Tex is one of the slower characters, actually. I think.
Oh well, see, I don't know anything then.
Yeah, I think it goes Pearls, sorry, Smallman, Tex. I could be wrong on that, but he's certainly one of the slower spies, which is one of his bigger downfalls. But also, honestly, the hat is pretty bad too. Like getting a white microfilm with a hat like that, it's just gonna move around. Like that attracts attention all the time. But we're gonna get a BananaBread.
I wonder. Then I wonder what we plan to do here, because if the microfilm, which I feel like we've done quite a bit in this set, we've seen quite a few microfilms. If that's going to be a lot more suspicious, we're not going to want to do that.
We
And
also
I
got a
don't
purloin.
think. Oh yeah, well there you go. There's that. There's like the second purloin of the set. So we're probably gonna be purloining instead of at least that. But I wonder what we're gonna swap out for bugs, because I feel like we've seen quite a few bugs as well, and I feel like bugs are also incredibly difficult to do on almost every position of Modern, except maybe this back right conversation circle.
Yeah. I mean, it is a bar purloin, which I think is a little bit less suspicious than a Trey purloin, and I prefer bar to Trey. What's your opinion on bar or Trey?
I think they both have their place. I think personally, I prefer the bar. It's just a little bit less reliant on my ability to hit a green. Um, but I think that they both have very solid gameplay aspects. I think the tray is really good because it really requires you to focus in on the chain. You get to play that kind of a memory game as the sniper, and then going to the other side, it's really just about remembering who the visitors were and then being able to work backwards from there. I think bar highlights are probably a little stronger per se, because I think it's a little bit easier to keep track of them. But I think that the tray can be quite fun as well.
I'm much bigger fan of Trey, not Trey, bar personally, simply because I think it delves a lot into the skill where if you're paying attention as a sniper, you can figure out like which two people it could be or which one person it could be in a lot of times. But if you're not paying attention, you could still narrow it down to like 6 or 7. And then as a spy, it really helps with framing, which is always a fun thing to do on spy. I think is not utilized enough on spy sites. Uh, I guess this time it's been working out because we have a majority spy wins. But either way, we back to the actual game. We have 1 minute and 17 seconds left, and we just need
Have
one more
done
mission.
quite a bit while we were talking about Purloin. We got our contact done, we got Seduce finished up, and we Purloined, and we are not one of the 3 highlights. So we're doing pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting one print. I know there's a print on the statues to the left of the venue. I assume Astatine also knows if that was the plan, and it looks like we might be going there right now. Yeah, and that will be finishing up if we do not get shot, which this has been a very solid game, so I can't imagine we're going to get shot immediately. It looks like we're going to get watched for a swap, but that's not the mission we're doing right now. And that's yet another spy win.
BananaBread.
Incredible.
Crazy.
This has been, for a game that's currently 7-2, this has been incredibly, incredibly close. Spies have been on point. And we'll be ending at 9 if one of them reaches it because it's first to 9. But BananaBread, even though they only have 2 points, has been playing incredibly well. So I can't imagine them coming back from this, but it's gonna be a challenge.
Not impossible, but definitely quite difficult.
Yeah. And we're gonna be Irish, which is certainly one of the spies that you can pick to really try to get back some of those wins. And we're gonna be starting in 3, 2, 1, playing it. But yeah, I could be wrong, but I think we're 7-2 both in Asstatine versus BananaBread, but also Sniper wins versus Spy wins, which is not something you see all the time. 7 Spy wins in one set is crazy. And we're highlight.
For some reason, we don't even have mission progress.
I'm assuming something with pathing. It could be because we're going to be getting this briefcase, but like, I don't know. Even in a print-heavy set like this, like I still don't think highlighting for prints is necessarily correct.
I am also confused. And then was that safety up on Salmon?
I'm not entirely sure, but Salmon's not even a highlight, so I assume that was just safety off in general, as in I think Astatine thinks they know who the spy is, which, given our highlight, I'm assuming is us, unfortunately. But I think somebody in chat pointed out there was a collision with Windows, which was probably seen, so I was right, and it was probably a pathing thing. Not getting a bug there, which I think is correct because it was being watched. We're going to get a green flirt for 51%. More
safeties off from Astatine.
I think if we do literally anything, we're probably going to get shot. Like, if they're crediting the flirt with Boots, I think we might honestly get shot right here going next to Boots.
Yeah, that's very true. But it looks like that we will at least get away with.
It could also be somebody else that Aston is safetying off for, but I don't. I mean, I'd have no way to know, and I'm just going to assume the highlight on us was criminal enough that it's us.
I would agree. The second set of safety office wasn't on anyone even. It was just kind of into the area behind Modern. So
We're gonna go into the conversation with the DA, and they're gonna leave and then come back, which is incredibly fun. Um,
all that being said, we have picked up quite a few more highlights in the last minute or so.
yeah, Astartine has been doing a lot of highlighting this set, which I mean, it's worked out for them. Um, which fair. But we're gonna go to bar. I think technically Disney could have delegated to us, but Disney is a low light right now. So if we're framing Disney, that's not really gonna work out for us, I don't think. Ambassador's also just chilling out. So we do sort of want another print. We're just gonna take a delegate, which I think is right. And we only have a minute and 12 seconds with not a single mission done.
I think this is just going to be a timeout, honestly.
It's looking like
Banana
it.
bread.
We're gonna get the BB now. And we're gonna get shot. Yep. And that is I mean, I'm gonna assume there was something pathing from the blue bookshelf to the windows that we got highlight for. Not the blue bookshelf, the conversation circle. With my limited pathing knowledge.
It looks like maybe the bounce off of it looks like it was the bounce with Duke.
Oh yeah, that definitely looks spy-like. Collision with the hammock? What are you talking about? No, I don't know. I'm just gonna chalk it up to pathing and end it there. Who knows pathing anymore? It's so old. But yeah, Banana Bread's going to have to win the next 6 games to go into overtime because Astatine's on game point, which is again surprising given how this set is going. But Astatine has not lost a single spy game, so is going to have to do that now for Banana Bread to have a chance. It's gonna be Queen. In 3, 2, 1, playing it. Queen, I think, is a really, really fun spy as well because, well, she's not Smallman short. She is certainly short, and that can have advantages.
Plus, you get a purse dog.
Plus, you do get a purse dog. That is true. I mean, who doesn't want a dog while you're spying? That's just best. But yeah, we're gonna get a 34% flirt and go next to the ambassador without bugging them. I assume we're pushing them around so we can get more prints, because that's basically what we've been doing. But we're going to do a white pearl line right now. And it's definitely seen.
And we're highlit, but we're not shot. So, that's not for sure death, but there are a lot of lowlights coming off.
Yeah, this early, I could definitely see somebody else getting a bullet, but I don't think this is a position you necessarily want to be in as Astatine.
No, it's never good to be one of like 4 highlights when one of them is Toby.
Well, Toby is no longer a highlight, so now we're one of 3 highlights. Which is, well, now we're one of 4 because Tex is going center statues, which could very much draw a shot if Astrogen believes that Tex is a big enough suspect. And if Astrogen knows to frame Tex, they can certainly give them a real BB. But it's a hard thing to look for. Tex is joining a conversation with the DI now, so if Astrogen goes back to that combo and BBs, that might be the win for Astatine. But we're just gonna get more flirt progress.
Yeah, I'm just heading to Windows. We're doing a lot of nothing, really seems like. I feel like maybe we are worried we have a lot more, or we have quite a bit of suspicion on us, which is the case. So I guess that's a good feel, but I'm a
Yeah.
little worried about the time they have left.
We're getting a lot more lowlights. I assume these are behavioral, but we're down to just us and Smallman. I assume it's more than behavioral then, but I don't think I know why exactly. I assume there is some reason, but I mean, it's correct, so I can't argue with the facts. This is going to make the situation even more precarious, but who knows? Maybe Smallman could go center statues and get shot, as we saw last
Maybe
time with General.
we caught the flirting.
That is something I could see. When Smallman is going center statues, hold on. I could see it being for flirt, but I don't think anyone else would get low lit for that. But we're Smallman is at center statues is one of only 2 highlights, and BananaBread is not shooting, but I could I could sort of tell it's considered is not
Like,
gonna shoot.
do we go white swap? Do you think?
No, we're gonna safety off an Astatine. With 20 seconds left with no
Banana
banana
bread.
bread, and there's gonna be a banana bread with Smallman out, and I mean Astatine's just gonna get shot, and that's banana bread's first sniper win this set.
Very well
Wow.
done.
I mean that was, I don't know what these lowlights are for. Like Smallman and Queen could definitely have been flirting, but I don't think. Oh, sorry, there was a red flirt with Smallman, and Smallman slammed the
Ah,
boat. Yes. Got it. That is unfortunate. I don't know how I didn't see that. But very good catch by BananaBread. That very much saved him the game, almost certainly. But yeah, unfortunate, but good catch as we move on to yet another game of ballroom um, with the Duke as the spy yet again, right next to Toby. So maybe we'll see another instant Perline in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Doesn't look like it, but it does look like we're going to take a book out immediately. The standard Duke play, and we are just going to skedaddle with it and maybe just put it in blue right now.
it does look like we're going to put it in blue right now, just being incredibly aggressive, and we're not dead yet. Oh, now we are.
Now we are. And that's the set, folks. Incredibly fun little play by BananaBread. And I can't fault him for going for it, because, I mean, it's often a very solid play that'll work when it works, and then you get a free win. But yeah, that's the downside, is sometimes it doesn't work. And that, I believe, is the end of the set, where Astatine has somehow won 9-3 in what I thought was an incredibly close game throughout. And I feel incredibly bad for BananaBread, who played incredibly well and still is somehow losing by 6 points.
Yeah, that was honestly incredible.
Yeah.
I really could have seen it going either way in a lot of those games.
Mm-hmm. And how many of those were spy wins? I want to say 8 off the top of my head, maybe 7, but a lot more spy wins than you would see in a normal game. Incredible spy play from both sides, and I want to say equally good sniper play, but given the score, I'll say slightly less equal sniper play. But very, very much very good. Very good gameplay from both sides. Yeah.
Yeah, I just checked. It was 7 spy wins out of 12, so that was pretty cool. And we just can look into the standings right after this match and see that the semifinal for the left side will be Hoffnung versus AstatineEffect. I don't know if anybody of you remember, but in the draw stream by Rof and myself, we just predicted who will be in the semifinal for both sides. And at least my guess, I'm not quite sure about Rof's, but I think we both said that Assatin will be in the semifinal, and I think we both said Hoffnung as well, which is cool because they are both out of my group, the dancer group. And so we have the number 1 seed and the number 2 seed from Group Dancer in the semifinal against each other. So this will be coming up later, but in the near future we should have the last round of 8 cast. I will keep you updated with that. So I think we are good. You have any last words? Otherwise, you can just go and end it from here.
Thanks for watching, everybody. If you're tuning in for the first time, this game has been SpyParty. You can find us on Discord at spyparty.gg.
And rest in peace, BananaBread. You've been robbed of getting another tournament after some great play.
Thank you to the players for having a game so we can cast it.
And thank you to Blood Red Yeti for casting so that I can pretend like I'm also casting.
And thank you to Guggy for giving me questions so it makes it sound like I know what I'm talking about.
No worries. I was specifically told that would help. But yeah, that's it from us, I guess.